Oh hello there, I'm Professor Hoey. We're back in Galar for yet another challenge video, but this time it's not a solo challenge run. We'll be attempting to beat Pokemon Sword with only biting moves. Bulbapedia lists 10 total bite moves, but we'll also be including Bug Bite in our run because, well, it says bite in the name, and the move description says using this move will also eat the target's berry. So yeah, a bite. That means we have 11 moves to use in this run, giving us some diversity, but not enough to cover every weakness, especially as we can't get some of these TMs and TRs until after we've beaten the 5th gym, making the early game quite difficult. Oh, and Fishious Rend, the only water jaw attack in the game, can only be learnt by 2 Pokemon, and in this version of the game, that relies on us being extremely lucky and finding a fossilised fish. So, what are the rules? I can only have one of each Pokemon type on my team, so I can't have 2 Yampas for example. I can't use items in battle, this includes held items, but I am allowed to teach my team TMs and TRs. I can't DYNOMAX, as technically there are no DYNOMAX draw attacks. And finally, no glitches or exploits. With all that out of the way, let's see how we get on. Our journey starts earlier than my previous 2 Galar challenge videos as we catch a Squavett, Chewtle and Yamper all before the end of Route 2. Squavett also has Bite, so we can now progress the story. The rest of our team don't start with a Bite move, but thanks to the XP share, Chewtle also learns Bite before the rival battle. Let's see how we get on against Hop. I start with Chewtle and our first Bite makes our opponent flinch, so we take it down without taking any damage. Grookey now has a grass type attack, so Chew takes a hefty amount of damage as we retaliate with Bite, doing nowhere near as much damage. For the rest of the battle though, Grookey just uses Growl as we whittle its HP down. As we get close to knocking it out though, it attacks again, this time with Scratch to bring us to just 1 HP. A few more bites knock out Hop's second Pokemon. His final mon is Rookidee. I don't switch Pokemon, so we have a reduced attack thanks to Growl, but between Flinchies and Rookidee deciding to use Leer, we're able to take it out without any further difficulty. After a bit of grinding, exploring the wild area and progressing the story, we take on Team Yell in the Budu Inn. Nice to see the manager still not doing anything about them. Team Yell uses Dark type Pokemon, so our attacks aren't very effective as we only have Bite, which is also a Dark type. I'm not going to do a blow by blow recap, otherwise we'll be here all day, and as much as I want that sweet watch time, I don't want to bore you. Leaving Hammerlock, Hop ambushes us, and the battle isn't much different than last time, but as Yamper now has Bite too, I use it against Grookey as Chewtle would likely get destroyed with 1 or 2 super effective grass type moves. Chewtle wrecks Hop's final Pokemon as well as most of the random Pokemon we've encountered, as its nature raises its physical attack and it has the strong draw ability, boosting Bite type attacks. Our first roadblock comes earlier than expected. We're unable to get past a trainer's fighting type Pancham on Route 3. It's a terrible matchup for us. It resists Bite and its attacks are super effective against 2 of our mons. While I could grind to a higher level, I don't want to rely on that being our default go-to option in our challenge videos. I have options though. In the wild area I can get Skorupi. I save up 3000 watts and buy Wishing Orb. We place it into the den and we get Stunky. The next day I come back and Skorupi shows its face. With Nasher on our team, we actually have Bite moves that aren't the Dark type. It's just a shame that its nature lowers its physical attack, but with its help, we're able to progress past the Pancham. We make our way through Galar Mine 1, brute forcing our way through the Rock type Pokemon with Cheetle's Bite. At the exit, B challenges us, acknowledging our strong jaw. Wait, what? As you can probably imagine, this battle isn't difficult at all. His Pokemon are all Psychic types, so just 1 or 2 Bug types is all it takes to get through his entire team of 3. Easy. Milo is the first gym challenge. Let's see how we get on. We're unable to one-shot his Gossifleur with Bug Bite as it uses Rapid Spin. It raises its speed, but we're still faster next turn, and so a second attack takes it down without any issues. His Dynamaxed Eldegoss comes out, and this could pose a problem later in the run. The rules we set mean we can't Dynamax, so we'll need to survive an onslaught of damage without the HP and attack benefits of Dynamaxing our own Pokemon. But as Eldegoss can only use Max Overgrowth, we comfortably survive all 3 attacks with just our Skorupi, and 4 Bug Bites is all it takes to take it down. While continuing our journey, we come across this gentleman who is up to date with the current fashion trends. Remember to wear a mask, folks. Hop's our next hurdle in this challenge as we clash on the big bridge. Yes, nobody could guess that reference in either of my previous 2 challenge videos, so I'll continue to include it until someone does. Now that we have Skorupi, the rival battle goes much more smoothly. Wooloo still goes down to 2 attacks. Thwacky comfortably survives Poison Fang, but we do poison it, so another few attacks and the poison damage eventually whittle it down, despite Hop using a super potion. Have you not read the rules, Hop? Items aren't allowed in battle. Corvusquire is faster than us and is able to bombard us with a variety of attacks as it takes the combination of Yamper and Chewtle to bring it down. Nessa time. I start the battle with our recently evolved Dreadnought as it resists water type moves. Goldeen uses agility despite being faster than us as we land our first attack. Goldeen switches to Water Pulse, which we comfortably tank. We use Bite a second time to knock it out. His second Pokemon is Arrokuda. Surprisingly, we're faster, so 2 bites knocks it out as it too uses Bite. Seems this challenge video is catching on. This means we have 4 Pokemon against a Gigantamax Dreadnought. I switched to Squavette. I doubt it'll survive a Max Darkness, but better to use my weaker mons to force Dreadnought to waste its Max moves. Surprisingly, Dreadnought uses Max Strike. Even more surprisingly, Munch survives, but the damage we inflict with Bite is pitiful. The second Max attack takes down Munch. I throw in Yamper, which also survives an attack, but like Squavette, barely does any damage with its attack. On the next turn, Dreadnought knocks it out. I switch to Skorupi. It's basically useless in this battle, but we're able to poison the Dreadnought with our attack before falling to Razor Shell. But it's all for nothing, as the Dreadnought overpowers our final Pokemon and we lose. Annoyingly, Yamper doesn't learn Thunderfang by level, for some reason, so we'll need a Pokemon that can. We head back to Route 4 and catch an Electrike. We have to hit level 24 to learn Thunderfang. The rematch with Nessa is much smoother, but Electrike is slower, and as the electric type doesn't resist water moves, we eventually get whittled down before we can even make it to a Dreadnought, and like last time, her DYNOMAX Mon sweeps our team. 2 levels later, an Electrike evolves into Manectric, and that proves to make all the difference. We one-shot both her Goldeen and Arrokuda, and as we're faster, we take no damage. After cycling through my Pokemon to soak up damage from its max attacks, I switch to Skorupi. We get extremely lucky as we poison it with Poison Fang. Thanks to that and the damage that we deal with Manectric, we're finally able to clear Nessa and progress the story. Hey, it's Rose! Time to put our strong jaw to the test. Eating the food, of course. Wait, what? We're not eating? But, oh well. If food can't fill our empty belly, maybe hitting that subscribe button and pressing the bell icon will help. It's a great way to show your support for our channel and help us to hit 100 subscribers before the end of the year. We make our way through Galar Mine 2. There's nothing here that troubles us. Even Bede basically rolls over thanks to Dreadnought and Bite. Before we can take on Kabu, we have to head back to the Budu Inn and take on Marnie. As a Dark-type trainer, our team isn't best suited for this battle, but by switching between our 5 Pokemon and mixing up our attacks, we're able to win. We clear Kabu on our first attempt, but like my previous 2 Pokemon Sword challenge videos, which you should check out after this one, Ninetales burns us, meaning our attack is halved, so it does take a long time to take down, but thankfully Dreadnought resists Fire-type moves. Arcanine is out next and intimidates us, so Dreadnought's attack does next to nothing as we get knocked out. I send out Manectric and jeez, I never realised how big Arcanine was. It uses agility as we land Thunderfang. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but we paralyse it, causing it to miss its next attack as we miss our attack. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, the elemental Fang attacks have a 5% chance of missing and only have a 65 base power attack. Not very powerful. We trade blows with Arcanine and get burnt in the process, but we take it down. Outlast is the Gigantamax Center Scorch. Like always, I sacrifice some of my weaker mons to take the brunt of its attacks. Once it returns to its normal form, it takes just 3 bites from our Boltund to beat its final Pokemon. Making our way to Hammerlock, I hunt down a Growlithe and add it to our team, meaning we now have a Pokemon with Fire Fang. I also spend my watts to attempt to get a fossilized fish from the digging duo. 5,000 watts spent and not a single one found. Ugh. On our way to Stownside, we speak to Corylus and revive the fossils that we do have, giving us a level 10 Arcazult. It's useless at the moment, but late game might come in handy. Before we can take on the 4th gym, we have to deal with Hot once more. Now that we have some more diversity on the team, the battle is much smoother. Saying that, I start with Greedent, who really hasn't been pulling its weight lately, so after it faints, I switch to Manectric and a single Thunderfang takes down his first Pokemon. We don't have a super effective elemental attack for Silicobra, so I switch out to Dreadnought, our bulkiest mon, which easily tanks a super effective dig as it takes 3 bites to see off Hop's second Pokemon. Out next is Thwackey, and now that we have Growlithe, this isn't a difficult round as back-to-back Firefangs takes it down. Outlast is Toxel, nothing much to recap here. It's a Toxel, it goes down easily. Making our way through the 4th gym, Growlithe learns Crunch. With no bite-type moves to learn by level up, I evolve it into an Arcanine. Time for Bay. We start with Arcanine, who I've taught Psychic Fangs after picking it up from a max raid. But even with the type advantage, we don't take down a Hitmontop with one attack, as it uses Counter, wiping the floor with Arcanine. Manectric is also unable to finish off Hitmontop with Thunderfang, so a Counter takes it down too. This isn't looking good. I only have physical moves, so I'd either need to flinch Hitmontop or take it out with a single attack to prevent the counter. It finally goes down to a Crunch from Dreadnought, but it's not looking great as I've lost a third of my team to a first Pokemon. Pangoro is out second, which sweeps my team. That was embarrassing. So I top up my team with some XP candies, and this time I make it to Hermachamp, but still lose. Our Pokemon are just too fragile. Having a Dragonfish would really help. So I return to the Digging Duo and spend an extra 10,000 watts, only to be disappointed with the results as we fail to get a fossilized fish. Time for my plan B. I originally planned to catch a Swoobat from a max raid, but couldn't find one. While doing so, I came across a Woobat and used a combination of berries to increase its friendship, so a few XP candies later it evolves. It's just a shame that its nature causes it to have a lowered attack. Rematch time. We start with the same tactics against Hitmontop, but he uses revenge rather than counter this time, so Arcanine survives and a second Psychic Fangs takes it down. I stay in against Pangoro and switch to Fire Fang. We trade 2 attacks each and I think it's game over for Arcanine, but it survives on just 2 HP, so I get the chance to attack one last time. But Pangoro switches tactics using Bullet Punch, which has priority, so Arcanine goes down. I send in my Manectric and land Thunderfang to finish the Pangoro. I switch to Swoobat to tackle the Surfetch because we have a resistance to fighting types. We miss our first attack though because of Detect, but on the second turn we land Psychic Fangs as Surfetch uses Swords Dance. We miss our next turn again because of Detect. The following turn we land an attack to bring Surfetch into the red as it counters with Brutal Swing. I expect to go down but survive with just 1 HP, and as we're faster, we land a final attack to take it down. Time for the Gigantamax Machamp. I sent out Bolton who takes the first 2 attacks and then Dreadnought to take the third. I expect it to faint but it survives on 1 HP. What is this luck? Dreadnought goes down on the next turn, but as we have 4 Pokemon left, we've got enough chances to attack and slowly take down the Machamp to win the 4th badge. Peter's up next, and I'm not going to waste your time. His team stands no chance against us as they all go down easily. The 6th Gym's Opal is our next milestone. We lose our first attempt because of Togekiss. We don't have any attacks that reliably do a lot of damage, and even burning it with Fire Fang doesn't help as it uses a variety of super effective moves to take down my team and uses Draining Kiss to keep itself from fainting. After evolving our Skorupi into a Drapion, we take on Opal once more. It takes 2 Psychic Fangs to take down Weezing, but as it only uses Sludge, we're not in any danger. Mawile goes down to 2 Fire Fangs from Arcanine and wastes its turn with Iron Defense, so we take no damage. Togekiss is back out. Let's see how we get on with our recent addition. Luckily, we get to answer one of Opal's quiz questions, boosting our defense and special defense. We use Poison Fang, which almost brings it to half health as it retaliates with Air Slash. Evolving Skorupi changes its second type from Bug to Dark, so we're no longer weak to flying type attacks. This means we have enough HP to survive and land another 2 attacks to take it down. Alchemy is her final Pokemon. After switching between Mons to survive its attacks, I send out Arcanine and use Fire Fang, which it avoids. It confuses us with Sweet Kiss, but we're able to overcome the confusion next turn to land Fire Fang, burning it. From there, it only takes a couple of more rounds to knock it out. On our way through Hammerlock, we stop off at the Eastern Pokemon Center, which is no longer blocked by Team Yell. One of the Mart assistants sells the TMs for Thunderfang, Ice Fang, and Fire Fang, which I distribute between my team to increase my attacking options. I also remove Manectric from our team and add Arctozolt, a dual Ice and Electric Pokemon, perfect for the TMs that we just picked up. On our way to the next gym, we bump into Hop. We self Trevenant with Fire Fang. There's no fighting type bite moves, so I rely on Arcanine for Snorlax and burn it in the process, reducing its attack. With that, we just have to chip away at its HP. Use Ice Fang to take down Boltund in 2 hits. Heatmore goes down to 2 crunches from Dreadnought. His final Pokemon's Rillaboom. We have plenty of elemental attacks to take advantage of Rillaboom's many weaknesses. Geordie's the next gym leader we face. Our first attempt doesn't go well. His team have great defences, not ideal when all our attacks are physical and only have between 65 and 80 base power. This means his Mons get plenty of opportunities to attack, taking down our team one by one. It's not until our team are around 5 levels higher each that we're able to win. We take advantage of Barbrackle's water weakness with Thunderfang. 1 attack is all it takes. Geordie sends out Shuckle next. It takes 3 Fire Fangs to knock it out, so it gets a few attacks in, but it's a Shuckle. Its attack stat is terrible, so I'm not worried. We don't have any super effective moves for Stonjourner, so I use Crunch with Dreadnought. Boosted by its Strong Draw ability, we take it down. We reach his final Pokemon with a full team of 6 as we force it to waste its max moves. I do manage to get in a Thunderfang with Boltund, though I'm surprised by how much damage it does, and we paralyse it. Another 2 attacks from Grind is all it takes to clear the 6th gym, the one that I was most worried about. It's time for Hop. Again. I'm not going to recap the battle in full. We only have attacks that are super effective against 2 of his team, the Rillaboom and Corviknight, but by switching between our Mons and mixing up our attacks, we finish the battle without losing a single member of our team. Progressing the story, we deal with Team Yell, who are refusing to socially distance. Remember folks, wear a mask. Okay, time for Piers. Wait, what? You want a recap of the rival battle with his little sister? Yeah, we absolutely destroy her team. We also beat Piers on our first attempt. We send an Arcanine to reduce Scrafty's attack before taking it down with Fire Fang. Malamar isn't a water typing, but we use Boltund and Thunderfang to take it down, but it's close. I switch back into Arcanine for Obstagoon to lower its attack before going on the offensive. Unfortunately, we can only attack, so Obstagoon is able to use Obstruct, lowering our defense and then knocking us out on the next turn. It takes the combined attacks of Boltund and Drapion to finish it off. Outlast a Skunk Tank, and 2 Ice Fangs from Dreadnought takes it down, clearing the 7th gym. Let's see how we get on in the final gym. With it being a 2v2 match, we can target a single Pokemon with 2 attacks. Perfect, as our attacks haven't really been strong enough to one-shot any mons in this challenge. Saying that, we take down Flygon with a single Ice Fang, but not before it hits us with Breaking Swipe, which doesn't do much. Our remaining attack hits the Gigalith, which sets up Stealth Rock. The next round is an absolute mess to commentate. Sandaconda survives 2 attacks as Dreadnought gets paralysed and Gigalith hits Arcazult. In the next round we lose Arcazult and Dreadnought gets hit hard. I swap in Swoobat, knowing it's the fastest mon on the field, I use Psychic Fangs to finish off the Sandaconda. Dreadnought misses its attack because of the paralysis as Swoobat gets knocked out. I use Ice Fangs on Gigalith as Duraludon takes out Dreadnought with a G-Max attack. I throw in Arcanine to reduce the mon's attacks with Intimidate. I split my attacks, Ice Fang on Gigalith and Fire Fang on Duraludon as both of Raihan's mons team up and take down Arcanine. This doesn't look good. I need to take one of his mons down, and as my mons are quicker, I use both my attacks on Gigalith, but it survives as his mon retaliates with their attacks. But thankfully, we don't lose any more mons. Yet. Duraludon returns to its normal form, and as Gigalith is on its last legs, I split my attacks, taking it down. Chomp barely hangs on from an attack and damage from the Sandstorm, and on the next turn we outspeed his final Pokemon to bring it close to fainting, meaning we take damage from the Duraludon and the Sandstorm, leaving Bolton with 4 HP and Drapion with just 2, so we live just long enough to land a final attack to beat the final gym leader. Damn, that was close. Okay, time for the tournament, and Marnie's up first. Like last time, she's a pushover thanks to our team having more Pokemon. Seriously, who brings just 5 Pokemon to a tournament? We only lose 1 Pokemon during the battle, and that's to the Gigantamax Grimmsnarl. Not bad considering we can't Dynamax. The second round sees us face to face with Hop. Like Marnie, he's a pushover. It's so disappointing to get this far, and my main 2 rivals give me no trouble at all. But stick around, as things get a lot more difficult towards the end of the game. The Rose Tower subplot is much easier than it has been in my previous challenge runs, thanks to Arcanine tearing through their steel Pokemon with Fire Fang, and my diverse team taking down Alenas. I know it seems that I'm skipping over large portions of the endgame, but there's not a lot to really recap, and I'm sure you don't want to hear me talking about biting my opponents to death for 10 minutes, do you? Do you? We beat Bede, Nessa and Bay without any difficulty. So let's jump ahead to the next issue we hit in this challenge. Raihan. His team is much more difficult to beat than last time. His Torkoal's defense means we can't easily take it down, and as Ryan heals it, we lose 2 mons to the combination of Lava Plume and it inflicting sleep on us with Yawn. The other Pokemon in his team causing us problems is Turtonator thanks to Shell Trap. This move has 150 base power and works like counter, and because all we can do is use physical bite moves, we can't really do anything as it activates every time, decimating our team. By the time we finish it off, our team is on the ropes and his final Pokemon just has to come in and just sweep up. Okay, back to the digging duo. I need a water type bite move which is only available to 2 mons. One of the brothers is ready to give up after digging, but I proceed to show my Pokedex which isn't getting filled up. Like his brother's mum, enthused and energized, he digs once more, but with another 10,000 watts spent and still no luck. So I use XP candies I earned through raids to increase my team's levels instead. Thanks to the extra levels, we win, but it's still close. We lose Swoobat taking down Torkoal, and Bolton and Arcanine are both at half health. Flygon is 4 times weak to ice, so 2 Ice Fangs from Drapion takes it down. We lose Arcanine trying to take down the Turtonator, but it does enough damage that Dreadnought can finish it off. Gudra is a Dragon type, so Ice Fang takes it down. He sends out Duraludon like last time. I don't have many mons left, but as it uses Max Rockfall, we survive and get the chance to use Ice Fang. We get insanely lucky as we freeze it, and as Ryan healed Torkoal early in this fight, there's nothing it can do as we knock it out. We progress the story using Fire Fang to wreck shop with Rosie's team. Such a relief that this is easy unlike previous runs. Okay, time to take on Leon. I rely on Arcanine to deal with Vega Slash and 2 attacks. I'm amazed by how fast Haxorus is, outspeeding us to land Earthquake on Dreadnought as we land Ice Fang. Both of us are in the yellow, but it's quicker, so there's nothing we can do as Dreadnought goes down. I throw in Arcazult and go for Ice Fang, but again, Haxorus is faster and does a hefty amount of damage before we take it out. Dragapult gets sent in, knocking out our Mon before we get a chance to attack. I send in Drapion and go for Crunch. Even though it's stab and super effective, it survives, burning us with a Flamethrower with its second attack, so our second Crunch doesn't take it down. Leon heals, meaning we're back to square one. We're able to take it down, but lose Drapion doing so. Inteleon is out next, but it's not an issue as we one-shot it with Thunderfang. I send in Arcanine to deal with Mr. Rime and land Firefang, which it survives. As Arcanine has such low HP from the previous rounds, we don't have enough health to survive Psychic. I send out Bolton to finish it off, but with just one other Mon left on my team, we don't stand a chance against his Charizard. I try again and make it to his final Pokemon once more, but lose. Okay, I could grind to a higher level and comfortably win this, but I love a good challenge. That means we only have one other option, one other choice, the destined one. We do a round trip of the wild area to collect watts. At this stage of the game, we get 2,000 watts for max raid dens. We head back to the digging duo once more, leaving a like to the YouTube gods. Let's hope this is enough. They dig, and just when we think it's over, they dig some more, going back for more again and again. Each dig, one step closer to the chosen one. We head back to Growlithe. I'm not usually one to support fellow mad scientists, but needs must at this point. We fuse the fossils together and give birth to more the Dragovish. Finally, at the last hurdle of the game, we get a water type bite attack. My team is now between level 59 and 64. Aegis Slash still takes 2 Fire Fangs to knock out. Haxorus is still faster than my team, so it's able to take down Arcazalt after it uses Ice Fang. So, Dreadnought steps up and takes it down with second attack. Dragapult is in next, and Drapion is having none of its nonsense this time, landing 2 crunchies and overcoming paralysis in the process to knock it out. Like last time, Inteleon goes down to a single Thunder Fang. Fire Fang isn't strong enough to take down the majestic Mr. Rhyme, so I have to use Bolton to finish the job after it KOs Arcanine. His final Pokemon is the Charizard. Drapion and Dreadnought take the first 2 attacks, and Bolton takes the third as we land Thunder Fang to bring it to half health. Now, back to its normal form, there's nothing it can do as Moore descends from the gates of Pokemon Heaven, delivering the final bite attack of the challenge, Vicious Ren, to knock it out, beating Leon and proving that you can beat Pokemon Sword with just bite attacks. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then click here to watch another challenge video, or here to watch my full solo challenge playlist. For my next challenge video, I'm doing the Reverse Oak Challenge, attempting to beat a Pokemon game while registering the least amount of Pokemon in my Pokedex. So subscribe and ding that bell icon to be notified of when it goes live. Until next time, remember to flex your inner geek. See ya!